I am in absolute disbelief of what I just played, what I just witnessed. I am gushing. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm telling you, Tears of the Kingdom is mind-blowing. I can't believe what I just witnessed. I just beat the game. I am in awe. They did, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. They did an amazing job. Just unbelievable, like impossible. The amount of imagination that went into this game is staggering. Like, let me. First of all, I'm gonna start non-spoilery, and then I'm gonna spoil the hell out of this game. This is the same. I haven't felt. Not that I haven't felt this. This is the same feeling I had when I beat Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is still my number one game of all time. I will play it eternally. I just keep replaying Ocarina of Time. It's my favorite game of all time. I could say that for most Zelda games, as far as replaying it over and over. That's what I do because I love the series so much. But Ocarina of Time especially is the one that I just consistently replay. It's part of the reason I have a huge backlog of games. I just keep going back to that game. Wind Waker I play a lot. This will go down as one of those games that I eternally replay just to experience the world and the story and the characters. Hold on. So one of the most recent things I can compare to is the movie Dune. When I watched the movie Dune, it was a couple years ago, it came out. The world they created and the stuff that happens, it's so new and so imaginative. I was like, oh wow. Throughout this game, I just kept seeing things that were just so imaginative and new to me. And this is the type of stuff where people who get paid to come up with things or imagine things or create video games or movies, a lot of times you're like, man, I could make a better movie. I could make a better... they should have done this. They should have done that. This is one of those times where, like, there's a reason this guy... I could see why they spent years and years on this. I can see why they pay this guy so much. I couldn't have come up with this thing. They couldn't have done it any better, like that. This is... I'm speechless. So the last hour of the game, I was just standing up, just on what was happening in the story, what I was doing, how I was fighting, the visuals it was showing me, the things that were happening. I was in awe. I'm such a nerd. I have a lightsaber. I brought out my lightsaber and I started pointing at Ganondorf. I'm like, you were going down, and then Link brings out his Master Sword and it glows blue, just like my blue lightsaber. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I'm such a nerd, and I love to be a nerd. I feel bad for people who aren't nerds to experience these things at this level. I feel bad for people who don't play video games. This is one of those moments in gaming history that will go down akin to Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII. I'm so happy I bought the Switch OLED Zelda Edition, the Amiibo, all that stuff. If you haven't gotten those, get those. This is one of those moments in gaming where right now, like when you look back at Ocarina of Time, the gold cartridge, the gold N64, if you own those or had owned those, this will be akin to that. So get the Switch OLED Zelda Edition, get the Amiibo, keep it, have it. This game justifies buying a Zelda a Switch in general. There's so much I want to say, and it's reflective of this game because there's so much to do and so much to this game. Whether you're someone who's played it already or haven't, At this point, what are we at? Over a month from release. I think a lot of people who listen to this or watch this review that I'm doing have already played it, and this is something I do, or something that I love. I want to see other people's reactions, and I want to see how much they love it. It just makes it so cool, you know? Makes you feel so good. And this is one of those moments where I don't care if you like Breath of the Wild or not. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't play this game and seek it out to the end. Stick with it. And here's the thing, like for me, Breath of the Wild, I didn't like it that much, especially compared to others. Over time, I've grown to appreciate it, but like other diehard Zelda fans, it didn't give me that Zelda, the distilled gameplay of Zelda and focus of getting all these wonderful gadgets and weapons and items, and going to a dungeon, doing these puzzles that are so focused, so refined, so wonderful to experience. You know, Breath of the Wild did none of that for me. The Divine Beasts, I hated the Divine Beasts. All the bosses, too, unimaginative. They were just globs. And the Divine Beasts, there was no, you know, the temples in Zelda games are unique. Different settings. They look different. They have personality to them. The Divine Beasts were just structures that all look the same. Even though there was like an elephant or whatever in the shape of an elephant, just mechanical, you know, I didn't like that. Sure, there were moments in the game in Breath of the Wild that I was wowed. Of course, coming out of the field and seeing the whole world that you can explore. And one thing that stood out to me in that game, I remember when I was playing it, is when you go up to, what's that, the elephant one, Van Ruda or something? The way you get to him, where you're with Sidon and you're in the water and you're swimming on his back. He's swimming and you're on his back. And then you swim up the waterfall and then in the air. And then you open your paraglider in slow motion. You're shooting with the arrow and in those things, those little circles to disable the elephant. I remember being absolutely blown away and wowed. I was like, oh my God, if this game is full of these types of moments, this will be the best Zelda game ever. And unfortunately, it wasn't. That was like one moment that sticks out, and I'm trying to rack my brain on if there were a few moments here and there, but nothing like that. I was so disappointed, and then to find out that it was drab, you know, the elephant, and you got a whatever. There wasn't any temples, like focused puzzles, and the bosses were you kill them all with just arrows. Just have a bunch of arrows and shoot arrows at them. You know. Tears of the Kingdom flips that on its head, and the biggest thing, the bosses are back. The beautiful, unique looking bosses, the creatures, the unique ways to kill them. It's back, baby. It's back, you know? And there's a good amount of them. They have temples in this game. And like others have been saying, they're not up to par with classic Zelda games' temples, you know? As far as puzzles and stuff. But way better than the Divine Beasts. That was kind of the temples of Breath of the Wild. Way better than this. I was really satisfied, and to have that unique boss at the end of each temple was beautiful. It was like, yes, this is Zelda, you know. The way I gotta say, what sticks out of my head in this game, obviously the end, the bosses. One of the biggest moments in this game, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm still not in spoiler territory, It's the way you get the Master Sword. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was doing. It was so epic. This game is so epic. Getting the Master Sword. The ending is unbelievable. This is one of those games where I felt like I went on a full adventure, I lived a life. You know what I mean? This is not a game where it's a game where you look at it, you dissect it, and you're like, oh, this gameplay was fun, this was a cool item you have. This is like a full story, a full book you're living, it's the same way I felt watching Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, going through an adventure. Like I felt like at the end of the movie, or the movies, I went through this whole amazing adventure. They brought this adventure to life to me, you know? And this video game does that. The music, my God, the music. In Breath of the Wild, I love the music too, but there wasn't enough of it, you know? You didn't hear that much. Like I downloaded the soundtrack of Breath of the Wild, and like one of my favorite tracks is the Zora Land soundtrack. In the game, in Breath of the Wild, when you're playing, you're in Zora, they're playing the song, but it's so low. The volume is so low and so minute, you know, that I wish they turned it up, you know? So hearing the music by itself on the CD that I got, I was like, wow, I can't believe that there's so many things I missed, so many sounds I missed in the song. And you know, Tears of the Kingdom turns it up. It turns it up. All the music is there. The music is awesome, amazing, so emotional. The story is the most personal, emotional, and the most epic at the same time of all Zelda games. And games in general. The most epic. The most epic. One of the things that I have a qualm about in general is like when you watch a trailer for a movie or a video game, a lot of times there's music in there that you're like, oh my God, this is such cool music in the trailer, right? And a lot of games and movies, they don't have that music that they had in the trailer that you really loved. It's not in there. It was just for the trailer, you know. And this has that type of music in the game while you're playing. And it pumps you up, and it is just like, especially the last when you get the Master Sword, it's there in the beginning, it's there. The last hour and a half of the game, some of the best music in video games. Really. The violin just, oh my God. The characters, there's so much character in this game. there's so much character to the characters. You become attached to these people in the game. You really do. And side quests. Let me talk about side quests and open world. I'm not a big open world guy. I like the linear story, the linear gameplay, focused gameplay, and I play single player campaign games over and over again that I love. I want to relive the stories, you know, and the gameplay. But here's the thing. This game turned me into an open world loving gamer for this game. Because, and here's the reason, because the side quests and all the little things, I never do side quests. I never, like in the other Zelda games, I don't go for the hearts, the extra hearts and stuff. I don't care for it. I don't want to waste my time. I don't feel like it gives me enough value. I don't like traversing that much. Like I don't want to waste my time. Like I want fun the whole time, you know. But this game, the side quests, the missions it has, they're so interesting, unique. They would be the main thing in other games, in movies. Even if the payoff isn't that great, like let's say a heart or whatever it is, an item that's not that great, the journey of it, the thing you do for that side quest or the main quest or whatever is so fun, so interesting, such a cool story, so interesting characters that is your payoff, and you want to do it. It feels like the side quests feel like main objectives in a video game. There's so much I want to say. The mechanics, the way you interact with the world, the powers you have, as you start playing it, you realize, my God, the possibilities of what I can do in this game. That's the most thing people talk about, and that's most apparent, and it really is something. I can't believe they did that in the game. That you can stick stuff together, create things the way you want, solve puzzles the way you want. I'm not an imaginative guy. I like the game to just work for me. Tell me what to do. Like, not tell me what to do specifically, but make it easy for me. I'm not that imaginative to be like, ooh, I need to make this thing. You know, so there's so many ways to do it. But this turns you into somebody who becomes imaginative. It's that good. But it holds your hand just enough. Like, it puts these certain items in this location for you to kind of get an idea what you should make, you could make, but also gives you the options of making even more. So that is something. So don't worry if you're not imaginative. I mean, you do yourself a disservice if you don't play this game and beat this game. And here's one other thing that really, like, if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, but you like other Zelda games, and one of the things that you don't like is all the running around and having to climb, and it's just annoying to get the things that you need or do the things that you need. The traversal in this game is so much easier with the flying and the stuff you get, like the wings you get and traveling. It makes it much easier. And going through the ceilings of the caves or walls easily, it helps so much. But the thing that this game has is the duplication glitch. And listen, I use the duplication glitch, and it still is not like you're cheating the game, because the only thing it really does, because there's so much to the game and so much to do, the only thing it really does is helps you get through the annoying parts that if you're somebody who doesn't like open world games or traveling too much or running around, it helps you avoid that stuff. You know, like you need more rubies, like it's so hard to get rubies, but you got to waste all this time. Like, is anybody really having fun, like trying to find rubies or cook a bunch of meals, like find a a freaking pig or a bull, like running around the world trying to find a bull to kill it, to get prime meat, to cook a bunch of that, to try to make meals, to make to get some rubies, to finally get a costume or whatever to help you fight. You know, like, is that really fun to people? You know what I mean? Like, so duplication glitch. It's so easy. I didn't update the game because I heard they patched it out. So, you get the game. Don't update it. I think it was the second update that they patched it out. The first one helped the graphics, so I do have that, and I just stuck with it. You just use the duplication glitch, and you get as many rubies and not rubies, stuff to sell to get rubies, like is it a rupee or what was it? The red high value stuff, the diamonds, and then you sell those. And I had like all this money, but it took me, I want to say, and I haven't done everything. There's so much I still haven't done in the game. I think I played maybe 60 to 70 hours, and I can't wait to continue. Like, go back and do all the side quests and stuff. I can't wait for it. So, unbelievable game. Let's go into spoilers. So here comes the spoilers. If you don't want to know, and you shouldn't know. If you haven't played the game, you shouldn't know the spoilers, because it really does wow you. The things that they do that you don't see coming. The story, amazing. Okay, spoilers. The way you pull the Master Sword, Zelda is a dragon. Zelda's a dragon. You ride the dragon. You pull the Master Sword out of Zelda's head. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And then, oh my gosh, Ganondorf, he eats the tear and he becomes a dragon. And then you ride the dragon and you are fighting Ganondorf in his final form as a dragon. I couldn't believe it. I remember in the beginning when the clouds open up and like the light dragon opens up the clouds, and then for the first time you go down to Hyrule, I had a feeling, I'm like, I think that's Zelda. I think that dragon is Zelda. But still, when I went to do the Master Sword quest, and then you realize like Zelda became a dragon to help heal the Master Sword, and you're on the dragon, you're pulling it out of his head. I was in awe. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. When Ganondorf turned into he took the tear out of his forehead, and then right when he took it out of his forehead, and then there's this shot where it shows like his mouth or his face and him holding the tear and him saying, I am going to do everything, I don't care what it does to me, to kill you. I was like, oh my god, he's actually doing it. He's going to eat this, and he's going to become a freaking dragon. I can't believe this is happening. And it happens. And then you go out into this huge Hyrule world, the sky, flying around. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And then the I can't believe it. I'm just thinking about the game. I can't believe what I can't wait to experience it again and again. First of all, the way they do the story is so good. I love time travel. Oh my god, I love time travel. Just give me all the time travel in all games and movies. Just keep giving me time travel stories. The part where at the end you embrace Zelda, you're holding her and you're protecting her to save her. You have, or right before that, when you're diving to get her hand to catch up to her. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then Link protects her with his life, and then they dive into the water, and the music, and just so epic. This will go down as one of the most amazing games, whether you like it or not, whether this is the type of game for you or not. Again, I have to say this, you do yourself a disservice to not fully play this game and play it to the end. I don't care if you don't like it. while you're playing it, first few hours or whatever, just seek it out to the end and do it with an open mind. Yeah, this is one of those moments in gaming. This is one of those moments in gaming where it's good. We're gonna look back in history and it's gonna be like, oh, I remember when Mario went 3D. I remember this. I remember Tears of the Kingdom. I will never forget where I was, what I did when I played, the moments that I saw. There's so much more I could say about this game. Like, there's little bits, like the side quests. I upgraded my armor. The side quests with the fairies, unlocking the fairies, all 4 of them. That was so cool. Transporting the musicians and getting them all together. So nice, so cool. There's a negative. There is a negative of this game. I hated the underground. It was such a slog, such a nuisance to go through the underground, the dark, shooting light things, and then there was no beauty to it to me. So it wasn't like when I'm traversing and you run into a huge freaking wall and you gotta climb and do all that annoying stuff. I hated the underground. I hated it. But what was cool, they had so much stuff there that would help you, like the costumes and the special abilities, all that stuff down there. So that made it worth to do that. The fights with the Yiga clan too, that was pretty cool, and the cars and the stuff they had built that you go on. And oh, by the way, another WoW moment that I just remembered: you freaking drive a mech. One of the spirits. What was it? What was her name? I forgot. Minoru or something. She's a mech that you ride, and then the fight with the boxing, like the mech. I can't believe they had that. The freaking boxing with the mech, as riding a mech. And also, what was the other thing I had just remembered that really blew me away? There was another moment. I don't remember. There was so much I did, so much time I spent in the world. I can't wait to go back. The OLED Switch, such a beautiful system. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope there's people there that maybe this persuaded them to try it if they weren't thinking about it, the very few that are there. And I hope if you are one that really enjoyed it and then did play it and just was looking for more validation of how other people felt about it, I hope this brought you a little bit of joy too. So I love doing that too, hearing other people enjoy the things that I enjoy, So anyways, thank you for joining me. Until the next, what is it going to be? 6 years probably for the next huge Zelda game. I'm fine with remakes, and I'm fine with if they go back to the old Zelda formula and just don't make a huge of a world, but the way their storytelling now is and how it's advanced and the stuff that they show and do in worlds, if they distill that into the more classic type of Zelda game, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And I really see like a Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom being like a part 1 and part 2, not separate games really, But obviously, if I had to say which one's better, Tears of the Kingdom 100 times over. But the Breath of the Wild, this also made me excited to go back to playing Breath of the Wild again too. So it will be something where I play Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So, anyways, that's how it made me feel. Oh, thank you for joining me and tuning in. And on to the next. The next game I'm playing is Final Fantasy 16. What a time to be a gamer. All right. Bye-bye.